everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences and make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis. I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner, and it's a new year.
It is a new year, and I am Mitch. I have to pause for a second for effect. I hate this weather.
Whether you're running in it or not.
Yeah. Driving in it today.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I didn't do this. So I worked from home yesterday because I had to get service done on my truck. So it was just easier to drop it off or whatever. I think they lied to me. They said, why is it taking so long? We're going to do a recall on it or whatever. There's no recall stuff on the paperwork. I think she forgot about it.
Oh, no way.
So then I'm driving to work this morning. I couldn't sleep last night, so I went in kind of early. As it turns out, I just wanted to drive a bunch because I drove all the way in and I was getting off the highway. I'm like, I'm so glad to be getting off the highway because it is so nasty on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to do this trip again because I left my computer at home. Oh. So I drove to work twice today.
In terrible weather.
Yeah. But you know what? The bright side is the plows were out in between there, and the second round wasn't as bad.
Plows are out. Speaking of plows, my wife left early this morning to go get kids. We babysat grandkids, or we had our grandkids over. That there's that whole, you don't babysit your own kids or your grandkids. Maybe you do your grandkids. I don't know. But anyway, had our grandkids over the last couple of days, and holy smokes, man, kudos to my kids who have kids or anybody who has kids. I don't remember it being that hard. I just don't. And wow, what a whirlwind. But anyway, Nicole left this morning to go get them. And because of the way our garage is, she parks on the one side and pulls straight in and backs out. Well, I always back in. Well, she wanted to pick up the grandkids, so she took the car I normally drive, pulled out. She doesn't like to back in. I could say I won't, but
there's a lot there.
There's a lot there. So she pulls straight in and parks, and I hear her. Anytime I hear the horn honk, that means she locked it in the driveway, and I go, great. She didn't pull it in. Well, of course, our plow guy comes, which means he only did half the drive because she left the car in the driveway. So, so I got to go and shovel the driveway that I paid to have a guy plow the driveway for. By the way, our plow guy is really cheap. Anybody listening to this episode that is in our area, let me know. I'll give you his name. It's so inexpensive compared to every other plow guy out there. But yeah, it is nasty out.
So injury update, I had an MRI.
Oh.
Saturday night. They read it now. I don't know what it means, so I'm waiting to get my next appointment. But I'm talking about it, and someone at work was like, I don't know, maybe, you could do all this stuff. You're just going to have to quit running and biking. I don't know if you understand how angry that makes me when someone talks to me like that. Like that is like over the edge. Somebody that has no idea.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're just going to have to bike. She's lucky I didn't
hit her.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you? I was like,
that's just somebody that doesn't get it. I mean, that's like telling her, oh, you should just quit being a mom if she's a mom.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure that's the same, right?
But I was like, I don't even know how to talk to you anymore. Like, what do you, like, you think you're helping me? Like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to have to, not run across the Grand Canyon ever again.
I guess it's one of those things where people don't know what to say. Because what do you say?
Then don't say anything.
Then just say, I'm sorry. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, much better.
Hopefully it gets better for you.
Sounds like that sucks.
So I need to talk about this invoice. Moving on.
Let's talk about work.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that does, I don't know. Hopefully you get some positive information results when they sit down with you.
I gotta see if I can get an appointment as soon as next week and just find out what next steps are.
I mean, at least then.
Yep.
You can start plotting ahead. I mean, right now you don't know.
Right now, my next year looks pretty bleak.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a super well-rested year and you'll get to bike a lot.
Trying to hit my triggers.
and you'll come back in 2026 and be a powerhouse of a marathon runner.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you never know. It could happen.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to the new year. As we said in the beginning of this, 2025, we are going on our 4th season with the I Don't Know Running podcast. And on that note, if you do like this, please do. We're going to start putting this on the front end. My goal, this is one of our goals, podcast goals, is that on the front end of the podcast, we are going to say, hey, if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with somebody you know. No more on the back end.
Right.
All on the front end. And today we're going to talk about, speaking of which, perfect time, how to start your running journey.
Yeah.
This is something people want to know. We've kind of talked about this before, but we're going to tackle this again, especially beginning of the year, a lot of new.
I think the difference is we talked about how we got started. And I can't say that I won't talk about things that got me started and what got me excited, but this is a different way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. New year, oftentimes people want to start something new. Running is often something that comes up in those list of topics of, I want to do this. A lot of times people are, I want to run a marathon, or I want to run a 5K. I want to run a 10K, something, half marathon, whatever it might be.
I just want to get in shape, and running sounds fun. Not everybody says that, but
some people do.
But yeah,
some people do.
Because I think me starting out, this is me jumping back, is it was fun. It was fun to do something I didn't think I could do.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest part of it. There's very hard moments as you're running thinking, why am I out here? But to say that you did it and got it done is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's a great sense of accomplishment when you finish. Whatever distance it is, if you're just starting out, 5K, major accomplishment. So yeah, we just want to talk about some things that you should look at if you're getting ready to start your running journey. And the first thing we thought of, Mitch said it right out of the gate. He said it needs to be fun.
So how do we make it fun?
Yeah, well, a couple of things on that. Number one, if you're entering into this, having that perspective, having those lenses to look through, I think helps you in any moment of the next month of your running journey. This is just a start, right? You want to make sure you're focusing on, if this isn't fun, what do I need to change to make it fun?
Right. And I want to be clear. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's not that part. It's not, you're going to take that as not so fun, but you have to build the muscle for that. You have to build the bone density for that. And that means you have to put in the miles. So how do you make those miles fun to offset that part that doesn't feel so good?
Yeah, and there's several ways to do that. We're going to touch on a few. Let's talk about number one, a way that will help make sure. Maybe this doesn't have, I don't want to say this doesn't have to do with fun, but it might help make sure that you're, I don't know, taking some of the stress off from some other what I'm trying to say is you want to have a plan. If you have a plan in place, you don't have to worry about that part of it, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing is you got to figure out how many days a week do you think I should run? Having a plan put together like Couch to 5K that says that you don't go out and just hurt yourself, especially if you're new to this. Even if you're a seasoned runner, like myself, I know whenever I get past this injury, I can't just go out, say I want to run
10
3
miles.
Yeah, I can't just go out and run 10 miles and run a marathon in a month. I'm going to have to build back up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as a new runner.
Yeah, so go find a plan. It will definitely help you have more fun. It's going to take a lot of the pressure off of like, okay, I want to run a 5K. How do I get there? I guess I should go run 3 miles. No, no, you need to go find a plan. It's oftentimes going to take you through maybe even a walk, run format.
And when it says walk, run, it might only be run for 30 seconds and walk for a minute.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. It's just like short little bursts.
And that is so custom to each person. Like everybody's going to be different here. If you've done nothing your whole life, you're probably going to want to start with that. If you've been super active, however, you might be able to start out with a mile or 2 miles, or who knows, 5 miles. But you have to go look up plans. If you want to have fun, take some of that pressure off and just focus on that plan. And there's tons of them.
I think the fun part is saying, like, I just remember myself doing the Couch to 5K the first time I ran 5 minutes in a row, because I was a couch potato, like without a doubt, and running 5 minutes in a row. And then fast forward, my first time running 10 miles, like, oh my gosh, I ran 10 miles without stopping.
And isn't that the exciting part? Like when you look at that, like to me, I think of like now, and this is again, the perspective, the lens that we look through, your lens that you looked through when you ran 5 minutes. Amazing. You felt such a sense of accomplishment. And like what you just said, for me, I'm really fortunate that I've always just been able to get out there and run. So I can usually go out there and run 3 to 5 miles without any issue. Not maybe at my age now, I'm getting older, but I guess the thing that there is, I want to make sure to point out is you need to recognize that there are a lot of sense of accomplishments. It isn't just about the 5K. It's about 5 minutes. It's about 10 minutes. It's about 2 miles. All those things that you can hit building up to.
And you don't have to have fancy electronics for that. You can put Strava, download Strava to your phone.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a watch. You don't have to have any of that stuff for that.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, you really don't need much.
It's just a timer.
Yeah.
Or if you're on a treadmill, it's the timer on the treadmill that tells you when to go and stop. You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need anything. If you don't want to mess with all that, just.
And if you like to journal, you can journal that. You know, you can write that down and say, you know, I have friends that wrote down all of their runs back before technology. I'm like, that's crazy. Remember Steve came in and he had all these notes.
Yeah, I wonder if Brian still does. He used to.
Crazy.
I don't know if he does anymore. So yeah, go out there, find a plan. There are loads. We're not going to say what plan to go find, because go search 5K running plan and you will find hundreds, and of really good ones. Strava has them. Garmin has them. I think you can even. I mean,
I think even
there
Strava,
are so many.
if you download the app, I think that you can even. It'll tell you when to start and stop.
Yep. It'll ask you how many days a week can you run. Oh, you can only run 3. Here's a plan for you. Oh, you can run 7. Here's a plan for you.
Yeah.
And that's on the free side of it, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I haven't had the free side for a couple of years, but.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I want to say they have it. If that not, Google it, you'll find it. Go find a plan. And then next, find what motivates you. And this can be many things, but one of the first things Mitch said was find a race. Find a race in your area you want to go do, put it on the calendar, make sure it kind of falls into that plan. Like, don't find a race that's next week. That's not going to work if you're truly going couch to 5K.
Right. Unless you want to walk it.
Suppose you could do that. Yeah. You can get out there and walk a 5K. But find a race, something like that. It could be in the area, it might be somewhere else, but find a race, put it on the calendar.
And I was going to add to that, part of that too is misery loves company. If you can talk a friend into doing this with you, that is fantastic. Or even further, joining a running group or, meeting people that way.
Yeah, I would say definitely find a run group. If this is something, especially if this is something you want to make a change in your life, like, I want to make this a part of my life now. You're starting your running journey, like what we did so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Find a run group, 100%. You'll either meet friends there or you'll find old friends there.
And
that's what I did with Jason.
Right. And you know what's crazy about that is you think you're going to go there all intimidated. There are people in all distances, all speeds, all different areas of their journey at the same time as you when you go.
Yeah.
So especially like Grand Rapids Running Group, I think is what that is. I think you can pay to to be part of that. They put out water and stuff like that on some of the long runs and things. I think that paid membership gets you into
some races or local.
I think it gets you into the bridge run.
Oh, really?
As far as that goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you get your money back.
Yeah. Yeah. And a group is a great place because, like Mitch said, it's going to give you some motivation. People are usually very excited for somebody new coming in to share their experience, bring them alongside, put their arm around you and say, hey, what are you doing? Let's see if we can help get you there.
I see you just ran a mile. How do you feel about a marathon this fall?
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah. We're careful with those people. If you had no interest in a marathon, you're going to be interested in a marathon real soon. But honestly, you are going to find that you get to that first race, that whatever, but let's say it's a 5K, you get that accomplishment, you get that done. What's next?
I'm just saying, yeah, because I'm thinking of our area, more running groups, like Hills and Stairs meets on Wednesday. They have 2 groups that meets at, trying to think of the name of it.
Founders?
City Built. It's at City Built now.
Okay.
And I think they have all different speeds and distances for that too.
Yeah, Holland Run Club has similar. They meet downtown a few times. I think a couple of times a week. I think it's Wednesdays and it is Wednesdays. I think it's actually twice on Wednesday. It could be once in the morning, once in the evening.
Wow.
And then I think they do I shouldn't say. They meet throughout the week, different times, maybe even different times at different times of the year. But yeah, there are all speeds out there. And generally speaking, you're going to find somebody who really wants to bring you into the group and help answer any questions you have. So never feel intimidated, as Mitch said. More distance is another one. Find what motivates you. That is one that motivates Mitch 100% as he got started. So he is a walking, talking testimony of that. And I would say generally most runners are that way. Not all. Certainly some are, they just find that sweet spot and they just want to stay there.
I meet a few people like that and it surprises me. Nope, I run 3 miles every day no matter what.
Or 8, or they run the half and that's been the furthest. And they're like, no, that hit it for me. And that's great. That's great. But whatever it is that motivates you, find it. Destination is another one. And this isn't just a race. Like my initial thought was a race. Find a destination race. Yeah, that's great to go downtown GR and run a local 5K, but hey, make a trip out of it. Go to Detroit, go to Chicago, go to New Orleans, wherever, and run a 5K or a half marathon or whatever. But on the flip side of that, what Mitch said, make training a destination. Meet either with a group, because that's where the group runs, or as you start to meet people, say, hey, I know this other running spot. Let's go here. And you'll find different areas that are just a lot of fun to run.
West Michigan trail runners, obviously they have to run on the trails, but they go to all the different trail spots within our general area.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wild. And I thought about that too. When I did my first 20 miler, I actually went out, we were camping. I went up to Traverse City and I ran from Traverse City to Sutton's Bay and I had my wife pick me up.
Oh, wow.
So that was a cool run. I did it completely solo, but you can, stuff like that is awesome.
Yeah,
Just
that's
map
cool.
it out and do it.
Yeah, and you can definitely find as you work along your running journey, as you increase distances, it's amazing how far you have to go to cover that distance.
Yeah.
What you can pass on your run.
May as well make it pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, find a destination for either the race or your training and get out there and just enjoy it. Again, something that will motivate you. The next thing we said or we were thinking is what else gets us kind of excited and makes it fun. Go get fitted for shoes and get some new gear. Fitted for shoes is something I'm a little torn because I want to say get out there and run in what you're in.
I do, but I think if you're going to spend money on anything,
100%.
Buy a pair of shoes and get fitted for them. Go to your local running store.
Yes.
They will hook you up. I know our local running stores, they're not there just to take your money, but they're they're trying to make a living too. So
But they also have something behind that.
They do. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
So go in there and they're trained to do this. And they will put you in the right shoe. And I know all these stores too. I'm not going to name any of them specifically, but a lot of them, at least the ones in our area, if they don't work for you, take them back.
Well, and tell me if I'm missing any, but it's the two main ones, Gazelle and Striders.
Yep.
Right. So I feel comfortable saying that Gazelle and Striders, go to your local Gazelle or Striders. Both stores I think are great. And to Mitch's point, if you go get fitted, if you go and you run in those and they aren't working for whatever reason, take them back. Now I will say this, don't make this see if you can take your shoes back experiment.
Yeah, that's
like, go get fitted,
garbage.
walk through the process and do it right. And if they're great shoes, great. If not, they don't want you in those shoes. They want to have you experience a great time running. And so that's why they're doing what they're doing.
And at the same time, like other gear too, like a good pair of shorts. You don't have to buy the store out.
Or cold weather running gear.
Cold weather running gear
right now.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I was telling Mitch before we hit record, that is something that excites me, new gear, whether it's a new pair of gloves and it gets you out there, new running coat or tights, whatever it is.
Makes me laugh. Because as I've talked about, I cleaned out my basement recently and I found all my running stuff and put it in one area. It's a lot of stuff.
It's still half a room.
How many times I've been excited about getting a new pair of gloves? Well, at least 20 times.
Yeah. Apparently, some still have the tags on
them. Maybe.
But yeah, gear is something that will excite you. So spoil yourself a little bit. Make this a true journey.
Running really doesn't have to be that expensive. Shoes are expensive, but you think about that. A brand new pair of shoes, minimum of 300 miles. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Unless you're running 300 miles a month, 3 to 5. I know, like, if Jeff from Striders listened to me, he'd say 3, but I push mine to 5. Depends on the shoe.
I feel like I can get 5 out of mine. but yeah, there is
Terrence would yell at me too, though, actually.
Yeah. I think I guess I'd like to look up what the manufacturers say. Maybe they do say 300. I don't know, but
it does depend on the shoe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there are training and racing shoes. Some of those racing shoes are only 100 miles.
Crazy.
4 marathons. Basically, you get 4 marathons out of them. Which is nuts.
It's only a couple months.
And those are the expensive ones.
Yeah,
those aren't the $120 to $150 ones. Those are the $300 ones.
It's nuts.
$100 or, well, I guess not 100.
100's on the low end. You're looking at 1 to 150 on the low end now.
Yeah. No, I was saying, I was going to say $100 a marathon per marathon for that shoe.
Yeah.
That's actually a little under that.
Oh, bargain.
Yeah, bargain. Under $100. So yeah, go get yourself some gear, but do get fitted. We do want to stress that. Get fitted. Don't just get shoes. Go get fitted at your local running store
if you get
for shoes.
Fitted there, you better buy them or I'm going to come and find you.
Yeah, don't be a jerk and get fitted and then go order them online. Because generally speaking, they're going to be about the same price.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue, it's way easier to take it back to your local running store than to deal with online. And then finally, just don't sweat the small stuff. You're going to put together this plan. You're going to go out and get some gear. You're going to be super excited. You're going to have a down day. Don't sweat it. Move on. You're going to miss a day for whatever reason. Life gets in the way. Don't sweat it. Move on. Keep it fun. Don't let it build as pressure in your life. Make this about the running journey. Stay focused on your group, the friends, the race, all of that, the health behind it. And it'll help you and your health in so many ways, not just physically, but also mentally.
Mentally, that's what I'm missing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't sweat the small stuff. Have fun with it. Going back to our number one, make sure that it's fun. Do all the things that make it fun and enjoy the running journey.
Yeah.
We hit all our marks.
I think so.
Hit all our marks. Well, cool.
Well, the last one was still have fun.
Still have fun.
Always bring it back around.
Bring it back around. Yeah. Off to a new year, 2025. A bunch of new running journeys. Please like, subscribe, share, do all of that. I know we did it on the front end. We're going to do it on the back. Put a comment if this is your first time.
Comment, please.
Comment, please. Yes.
We
We love it. We have seen more commenting lately, and it's really cool. We got the guy from UK. He is definitely talking to us, which is fun. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
I don't mind ridiculous.
I don't either. We have a lot of that here. Must be similar over there. But yeah, that is going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.